County Fairgrounds and Cool K here. Do I have the Bubbleologist on the line with me?
Yes, you do. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Megan. How are you doing?
I'm doing so great. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Oh, busy, normal.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, so you do something I have never seen anybody do before. Do you want to tell me how you got started in this?
Oh, sure. So long story short, my background is in theater for children. So I've been performing for kids since I was a kid. And after college, I started doing touring children's shows all over the country. And when I moved out to LA about 10 years ago, I needed to make money, and I was doing birthday parties. As I was doing like dance parties for kids parties, and I'm a musician as well, so I was like doing singing parties and things like that. And then I came across Bubbles, and I was like, Bubbles, I could do that. I started doing the research and found that bubbleology is a pretty big thing, especially over in Europe. And I just started doing all the research and, figuring out where to get all of these cool bubble wands and all this stuff. And I just started practicing. So I'm a self-taught bubbleologist. And then, yeah, I've been doing that for like the last eight or 9 years.
Well, are you a married woman?
No, I am not a married woman. I do have a long-term boyfriend for 3 years right now, so I do have a partner.
Oh, okay. Well, do you have any nieces or nephews who love you?
I sure do. I have a niece, Josie. She's, I think, 6 or about to be 6. No, I think she already turned 6. She's going to be 7 this year. And she loves bubbles and is amazing. Okay.
All right. So when you go to do an event, do you bring everything with you?
It depends. So I've done a few fairs. I first started doing fairs in 2019. And then obviously the pandemic hit, and nobody was doing anything. So then this year, I was like, I want to do fairs again. And I went to the WFA convention, and I really made a big push this year. I had my own booth and everything. And I was like, I want to do some fairs. And so this is really my first big year traveling around with all my bubble equipment. And a lot of the fairs I booked are in driving distance, so I can kind of just take everything. But I do have some ones that I'm flying to, and so that'll be interesting. I have like a scaled down version of things, but I'll still be able to do everything, but it's going to be with like slightly smaller equipment, like a smaller cart and stuff like that.
I have, as long as I've been doing this, I have never seen anybody do this in the United States before. Have you ever met anybody else in the United States doing it? Because I haven't.
I do know Sterling Johnson. He does fairs. He's in San Francisco, I believe. And he uses. So the thing about bubbleologists is that we're all different. We all have our different vibes, just like, jugglers and hooping people, and, we all have different vibes. So Sterling, he always has a very nice, outfit on, and he uses these really huge garland wands. But I'm a little more colorful, a little more, I use like fun pop music with my act, and I have bright, colorful wands, and I wear bright overalls and fun hats, and so I'm just kind of a different thing. But I've met Sterling through the phone, And I've chatted with Tom Noddy. He's always considered like the grandfather of bubbles because he really got Bubbleology out there in the world. And he's also, I think, in San Francisco. And he does more like shows. I don't think he does a lot of outdoor type bubbles. Yeah.
Are you just booked in California this year?
No, my first fair was actually in Arizona. I did the Ostrich Festival, and then I just got done with a fair in Nevada at the Clark County Fair.
Okay.
And then I have 2 Oregon fairs I'm doing. Those are the ones I'm flying to. So yeah.
Okay, so when you do a fair or a festival, you do like a stage act?
So I have several things I offer. I do have a stage act. So I have like an indoor show and an outdoor show, and usually at fairs everything's kind of outside or in a tent. So it's interesting. The thing about bubbles is that I can't control them. Unless I'm inside and I have a controlled environment, right? But outside we have wind, we have heat, we have dust. But that's kind of the fun, not just for me, but for the audience, because every bubble show is always different. You're always going to get a different type of show because you don't know what it's going to be like with the wind and everything. So,
and I have to interject this: a lot of inquisitive, jumping around, yelling children.
Yes, that is also true. You never know what type of kids you're going to get. I will say the Clark County Fair, those kids were the best behaved children that I've interacted with in a really long time. They were very well behaved. So that was really nice. That always makes things a little easier. Because kids love bubbles and adults love bubbles. And I think kids really gravitate towards bubbles at fairs, especially because they're familiar. It's like, oh, I do this at home. Look, it's here. The bubbles are here, and they're comfortable with bubbles and familiar with bubbles, and they have all these good times at home making bubbles with their parents. So it's fun to be able to also do that at fairs. Back to the stage show. I bring tarps and towels if I'm going to be on like a proper stage. So everything's protected, because you never know if I'm going to have like someone directly after me. So there's no mess that I leave behind. So if anyone's ever worried about that, I'm a professional. I've been doing this for a long time, so no mess will be left. And then in addition to stage shows, I have a strolling rounds act. I basically have like a cart with a bucket of bubbles and really fun wands and music playing, and I just will walk around the fair, and then if I see a good open spot, I'll start making big bubbles or fun bubbles, and I have a bubble machine constantly going, so there's always bubbles throughout the fair, which is always fun, and the kids will come and play with the bubbles I'm making, and then when it gets a little crazy, then I'm like, okay guys, got to move on, and then I go to another part of the fair.
I'm curious, Megan. You said you had a college degree. What is your college degree in?
My college degree is in theater, not bubbles.
Oh,
it's in theater.
Wow. Okay,
Yes.
This is theater. That's what you're doing is theater.
Oh, definitely.
By the way, do you know one of my clients is BubbleTower.com. Have you seen him?
BubbleTower.com, I believe I met him a long time ago. I think I was at the Utah, some kind of Utah Fair convention, and I think I might have met him there very briefly. So I have seen that, not in real life, but I've seen the website and the pictures, and that's really cool. That's a really fun thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. The kids love bubbles. I will absolutely agree with that. Okay.
Yeah.
So where would you like to perform, say, coming up in the next few months that you haven't had a chance, so I can give you a plug?
Oh, I would love to perform the LA County Fair, the San Diego Fair, basically any fair that's near LA, I would love to do. so I'm not driving 5 or 6 hours, but I am performing at the Mid-State California Fair for the last week. And so hopefully next year I'll get to do the whole fair. So those big fairs I'd love to do.
You'd make a great mom. Your kids are going to love you.
Thank you. Oh, also I want to say, Josie is not my only niece. I also have other nieces, but they're just older, so I think they've outgrown Bubbles a little bit. But I didn't want to leave out my other nieces, Bria and Briar, and then my nephew, Brody, who's about to graduate high school. So I don't want to leave them out.
Yeah, you'll get yelled at. Hey, Megan, I'm 74. I still like Bubbles.
Oh, I know. It brings you back. It's like, I didn't set out to be a bubbleologist. It's something that I guess I just kind of gravitated towards, and I had a knack for it. Because bubbles, performing bubbles is hard. It's because it's not. You do have to be on your toes. Because it's always improvisation with bubbles. And also bubbles are really heavy. I make 10 to 12 gallons of bubbles a day. So I have like 3 5-gallon buckets that I have to haul around. And then, I'm making bubbles every day. It takes me sometimes an hour, to do it, and sometimes I'm doing it in a hotel room, which is not ideal. So it's a lot of work, but it's worth it. It's worth it, and it's a really great activity to have at fairs, because especially for like toddlers who aren't old enough to ride the rides, and it's just another great activity that the whole family, the entire family, can truly enjoy. So, yeah, I love it.
Hey, do you want to perform out of state?
Do I want to perform out of state? Oh, yeah. I really want to perform, because I'm originally from North Carolina.
Okay.
And I would love to perform at the North Carolina State Fair.
I might be able to arrange that for you.
Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah, I would love to do some East Coast fairs. And also, like, I love New Orleans. I'd love to do a fair near there. Yeah, I love traveling. My boyfriend takes care of my kitty cats while I'm gone. So I have someone on the homestead while I'm off doing all this fun stuff.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like a great time. So I hope you keep doing it, and I'm sure the kids love you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
So how do they reach you if they're interested in booking you?
They can find me at www.bubbleologist.com. You can also find me on Instagram at megan-mciver. And my email is megan-mciver@gmail.com.
Thank you very much. We'll get this posted, and I bet you'll get some bookings.
Thank you so much, Karen. I really appreciate it.
Bye.
All right, bye.